Option. There we go, finally. Okay, perfect. Boom, got it. Okay. Uh, I don't remember what JR's account is. Did anyone else? It's cut off. What do you mean it's cut off? It is a little tight. Hang on. I guess I kind of see what you're talking about. Hang on. If someone can send this to JR's Donald account, unfortunately, that's the best I can. For real, for a moment. This man claims to be 28 years of age. And even though his mustache is purportedly 2 years old, it honestly looks like a 12-year-old slowly coming into puberty. His mustache is so weak, it literally looks like it may be a shadow. This is a man so desperate to look masculine, he cut his own pubes off and glued them underneath his nose to make himself look distinguished. This little man child, this little hobbit boy, this shoulderless, chestless, pathetic excuse of a little man slid into my DMs and said that I need intervention. He's on second dinner in the Shire. Yeah, but Brand Flakes, you have to articulate. What is the medical concern that you've identified? And what's the evidence for the medical concern? Yes, I'm on TikTok all the time because I'm retired, Brand Flakes. I have a stupid amount of free time. And none of my friends are going to be retiring for fucking 20 years. And so I am stuck with nothing to do for 25 years until my other friends retire. I don't think it's addicted. If, like, I could just go watch movies all day long, I guess. But, like, I don't really quite understand what the difference would really be. So you choose to argue with strangers on TikTok. I don't think I argue with strangers. I think what I do is I embarrass toxic men largely for so that women who've been abused by them can feel validated and or empowered. And at the same time, I hope that part of what I do is convince some men who are along the track of becoming toxic to be less toxic. I don't think those are arguments. I'm not fighting with them for the sake of fighting. In fact, I don't like debate for the sake of debate. I think it's mental and intellectual masturbation. You've never done that once. What have I never done once, Brand Flakes? Because I'm going to take a wild guess, Brand Flakes, that you've not seen my lives a lot. So people in the comments have seen my lives a lot. So Brand Flakes, why don't you tell people what you believe I've never done, and then be humble enough to let the people in the comments correct you. But I can see you're bothered by me so much you invited me on your alt. I mean, all my accounts are alts. But Brand Flakes, you said that I've never done what? You're so addicted you have alternate accounts. I've got 30 accounts. Yes. I've got 30 accounts. What's your point? You're not saying what it is you're saying I didn't do. Oh, hey, bitchin'. I think you just messaged me. You're not. What is it you're claiming that I've never done? You said you've literally never done that one time. What are you saying I've never done one time, Brand Flakes? Say it in the comments specifically. What is it you're claiming I never have done? Mac, this is Brand Flake's attempt to look like a real man. But obviously Irish used it too much. Oh, I wonder how much time. Oh my God, Brand Flake, can you answer my question? What is it you're claiming I've never done? It seems to be I made a claim, and your response was you've never done that before. What is it you're claiming I've never done? Are you claiming I've never emasculated a man on my live? I do that every day. I reached out to you as a human being, respectfully, and that you need help. But your problem, Brand Flakes, was that you assumed that I view you as a human being. I view you as subhuman. I don't view you as an equal. I don't view you as someone who is worthy to engage in conversation and offer me advice. Yes, I dehumanized you, Brown Flakes. I think you're less than human. I think you are a deeply insecure, deeply emasculated bitch boy, and that as a result of your insecurity and lack of stability in your own masculinity, that you will likely be dangerous and harmful in the future. That's my guess. That's just my gut instinct, Bran Flakes. So I'm all for. I'm kind of at a point where it's weird how in 2.5 years I went from like not really liking guys to now genuinely just wishing a lot of you guys were just unalive. Like it is crazy. 2.5 years ago, if you asked me my perspective on men, I think we're adorable in some ways. But I think that I generally think that male culture and male bonding and male friendships and male habits and behaviors are largely toxic, and I've never really liked them. But in the past 2.5 years, I generally have wanted to round up like 5 to 10% of you and push you off a cliff. Not even push you off a cliff. Push you off a cliff off a 90-foot drop into the ocean. So you wouldn't unalive, but hopefully, like, if you're a little bitch boy, you're going to be scared on the way down. And then in the water, I would like a whole bunch of 4.5 feet bull sharks. 4.5 feet bull sharks. And why I want them to be 4.5 feet is they're large enough and snappy enough to take bites out of you, but they're not going to unalive you quickly. They're not going to be able to drag you under. It's going to be a slow chump. I think 5 to 10% of the male population could be that humanity would be benefited. Humanity is going to be benefited from 5 to 10% of you guys just like checking out, in my opinion. Brand Flakes, would the world be a better place if you were not in it? I don't know. I don't know if the world will be a better place, because I'll be honest with you, there are some men who may be harmful, may be bad people, but they're just so immaterial that they just never impact the world. And for some reason, I feel like you're going to be one of these people that when you die, you'll have left really no measurable mark on the world. So, would the world be better off without you? I don't think you're really going to have much of an effect on the world to begin with, so I don't really care as much. But would I argue would the world be better for you being in it? No, not at all. I don't think you'll ever be a net positive whatsoever. And Mac did not make me the way I am at all. It has been perhaps Mac's lives because it has exposed me to just how pathetic and disappointing guys are. And Brand Flakes, you are no different. You are pathetic. You are disappointing. You will never make a partner proud. You'll never have a woman look at you and say, I'm lucky. It will never happen, Brand Flakes. You will always be someone that another woman settles for. And that should make you feel pathetic, but male audacity. You're going to think you're God's gift to that person no matter what. So, I don't know. Yeah, but Mac, I still have a deep amount of sexism. Like, I really do. Like, I've talked about this a whole bunch. Like, I know that we all say that we have, like, racism and homophobia and transphobia and sexism to unpack. But, like, honestly, like, I really don't I've said it a bunch of times. I don't find myself fighting urges for like hardly any of those things. But when it comes to sexism, I have a ton of has to do with objectification probably. I think that that's a large part of it because I do think in terms of like women being competent, in terms of women being able to lead, in terms of women being able to do an equal job, I don't think I've got any unpacking required there. I don't think I've ever thought of men as being superior intellect, superior leadership. I don't think I've ever believed that. But I think that my sexism that I still need to unpack is the objectification. And also, I do think that whoever it was who talked about the fact that male bonding often revolves around sexism, I think is it's very, very, very valid point. And so where my sexism can come in play is bonding with other men. So when I'm around other men, I definitely think I am more sexist than both who I would be on lives, but also but also who it is I would want to be. And I have not really figured out how to grapple with that. I think I try to avoid any material sexism, of course, but I do think that that is one area that I still need to tackle. And then, is there any other area? I think within sexism, objectification, male bonding. Minimization. Minimization is the third one. I think objectification, male bonding, and minimization. And part of minimization, I think, is, or related to minimization, it may be an adjacent one, is that I do think a lot of my sense of humor is based on being provocative and pushing the envelope. So, for example, when I held a live yesterday and I was talking about how men should have a medical diagnosis for the mental trauma that they sustain during the period of tending to their partners who are on their period. Like, do I really believe that? Of course I don't. But poking the bear is a very Irish trait. Like, it's such an Irish thing to, like, we just call it banter. And a large part of Irish banter is about escalation and amplification. It's about poking the bear. And so I think that a large part of my sexism or the harm with regard to my sexism would be that I will often poke the bear. And it's not because I believe it. It really is to just sort of like antagonize in a banter, fun way. But yeah, M did not fucking get it at all. M's DMs to me, she was livid. She was so certain that I was being serious. And I was being dismissive to her. Of course she whined to you, god damn it. And I was being dismissive to her because I'm kind of tired of other people's triggers becoming my fucking issue. Like, if you didn't have a sense of humor or you joined late, which is what happened to her, she joined late, then maybe don't have such a strong fucking opinion. Because the moment I explained to her that I had started the conversation by saying, she can be upset all she wants, but don't be upset with me. Like, she could be upset, but she can go cry about it to someone else. Don't take it out on me if she can't fucking, like, take a joke. Because the moment I explained to her that I'd started the conversation by saying there should be a medical diagnosis for men for having to deal with the mental anguish of shepherding their partner through their period. Once I explained that to her, she was like, "Oh my God, that's crazy. I would have known that you were joking." My response was, "Well, don't get a fucking opinion on something you only are halfway informed on." And I'm not wrong on that. I'm not wrong on that. Don't develop a strong opinion when you literally join halfway during the conversation. So M was like looking for validation from me. And I was like, nope, nope. I'm not giving you validation on that one. You gotta fucking learn a lesson on that one. Sorry, not sorry. But If you don't know, I don't know. If you don't know what the conversation is about, don't come in fucking hot and heavy and punching, for God's sake. Mac, don't you dare go tattle on me to M, you little fucking snitch. Fucking can't trust Mac with anything. This is why I don't tell you everything, Mac. You're an untrustworthy person because you've got like no impulse control. You're probably texting her right now, whining about it. Oh, Mac, I did finally finish the goddamn subtitles for the Bobby slash Ash video. Fucking 67 minutes. 67 minutes it took. So I finally, 67 minutes the video is. It took hours, but I finally got the subtitles right. So now that the subtitles are right, I'm going to like go back and like play with font size to like have when they use the word child to refer to you, have that like emphasize. So I'm going to get like a little bit like creative with it, but that's less stressful. Going through the entire video tediously, fixing each of those goddamn subtitles was stressful. It was honestly just fucking horrible. I just hated it. I just absolutely hated it. But that now is done. JC, he will be a perpetual victim. Like, yeah, I mean, it's more about Ash at this point. There's some people who are femmes and some people who are in the space of trans advocacy who I don't really understand why have taken it as an issue to call out Ash. I'm very happy they have. Because like if all of you remember, we avoided Ash. We gave Ash so much grace when we first showed the video of this gross encounter. We literally hid Ash's face because we were like, we don't want Ash to get any of the heat, even though Ash was culpable. But Ash has just repeatedly been disgusting and deplorable and has been invalidating of this entire thing. And so for some reason, Mac, I don't know what to tell you, but some people who are femme presenting and some people who are in trans advocacy really want to call her out on this issue. And I'm not really sure why, but that's who I'm giving the receipts for so they can go do that. When you're saying when is the live going to be, I'm going to message them and I'm going to ask when are they planning to do something with it. But Mac, I don't think there's going to be an actual live. I think they're just like, I had two people call me today, for example, who are in trans advocacy, and they said, yo, what's this I'm hearing about Ash? And I was really kind of surprised. I only explained to them for like each individually, like 2 to 3 minutes. And they were like, all right, I'm not fucking with Ash. And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't you want to see evidence or something? And they were like, nope, what you're saying sounds gross. I'm tapped out. And so I don't know why this became a talking point, Mac, but it did. And so I've been very slow on getting this receipt because I just need it to be perfect because I know that Bobby's the type who'll just do anything to try to like undermine it. So it's not going to be Mac. It's not like there's going to be a call out live. I think it's more so people want the receipts so they when they see Ash, they can go into a live and say, "Yo, you're the person who did this. Yo, you're the person who allowed this to happen. Yo, you're the person who enabled this bad person." And I think they want to like chase Ash out of safe spaces. And like I don't take any pleasure in tearing down someone who's a femme or tearing down someone who's trans, which is why I'm kind of happy that other people care about it. But on the flip side, do I think that Ash is very harmful? Yeah. Like, I've really tried to be fair about that conversation. And I'm trying to be as transparent as possible. Men talking schmexually about women that they don't really know very well, I'm not going to call that out. Like, that's where depending on what's being said, obviously, right? But like, ordinarily, I would not call that out. Like, I feel like that is not necessarily inherently harmful or inherently materially harmful. And so I don't want anyone to think that I'm demonizing the idea of talking schmexually about someone. But there's something just so insidious about the fact that they had such contempt towards you and how much they infantilized you, but then at the same time were sexualizing you. I don't know. It was just so gross. I've just not really seen that so much. But as for Jem, the idea of men feeling entitled to talk about women sexually, I think there's like a spectrum, and I'm not really sure where I'm falling on that spectrum, to be clear. I do think that saying certain things are unacceptable. And so, like, I do think it's sort of like, I think it's a nuanced conversation. Like, for example, there's certain friends on TikTok that I know that I would never say anything sexual to or about. And I would have the common sense that even if I find them very sexually attractive, I would bury that because it's not appropriate, right? Then there's other people who I know are incredibly flirty, are very comfortable with their own bodies, and would have no problem, or I believe they would have no problem, if I was to talk about them schmexually in certain ways. And I guess, part of the risk and maybe the audacity or arrogance, guess who is who. And we may be wrong, for sure. I completely understand we may be wrong. But I don't know. I don't think talking sexually about people is inherently harmful. I think that sexuality has been hijacked by men to make it a tool for demonizing women and objectifying women. And I think that's horrible. But I don't think that's all sexuality is. I think that so I pulled back, right? Putting that aside, even though I talk about the fact that I feel like talking about people schmexually is not inherently wrong, like really think about how many times on lives have you really don't think I do that a lot.
I don't think you talk about women in a sexual way whenever they're not like flirting with you back. But even still, I would say it's like flirting. It's not like sexualizing language. I don't think I've ever heard you like.
Lots of women I have secret crushes on. And if someone was to say, you know what, that makes us feel uncomfortable that I may be one of the women you have a secret crush on. Or when I've said about the fact that there's certain women who, from a sexual appeal standpoint, like they are it for me. And I've just like never tipped my hat to that because I just don't think it's appropriate. I don't know. I've just always felt like I can issue with me saying that there's certain people I find deeply sexually attractive. Not that I'm going up to them saying, "Hey, I find you deeply sexually attractive," but me alluding to the fact that there's certain people who I have, um, what the hell is the word for a non-romantic type relationship? Platonic. That there's people who I have like platonic engagements with that I find incredibly sexy and attractive. Um, if someone had an issue with that, I could understand that to some degree. When I talked about the fact that I have a transparent about who I am so that people kind of know. See, Jem, I disagree with you on that. There's lots of women who I can find incredibly sexually attractive who I have platonic long-term friendships with. Like arguably half of my really good friends I find incredibly sexually attractive. But I recognize that either A, there'd be no relationship future for us, because we just like would not get along. Yeah, I think platonic is not. Yeah, I agree with Teeny. I think platonic to me are about boundaries, and it's less about like under that definition, Gem, then arguably any ex girlfriend could never be a platonic friend, and I just strongly disagree with that. There's ex girlfriends of mine who I would consider more like sisters. People, and they imbue each word with separate meaning. And for me, platonic is more about boundaries. For me, it's sort of like platonic is like, for example, RBG is a perfect example, right? Right. But from a boundary standpoint, RBG is strictly platonic for me, right? And so RBG to me is someone who I would like to maintain a friendship with, someone who I would like to, that I'm thrilled that she is a partner, that I'm thrilled that she has a family, recognizing that someone could be sexually attractive and recognizing that um, you two would have really fantastic sex, but also recognizing that you prioritize other things more than that. I feel like I don't know. I don't honestly. I just don't think that's really weird, to be honest with you. But then again, I will agree that almost no, not almost all my exes. I will say that my last ex would would agree that it is impossible to have platonic friendships with people who you have. Yeah, sure.
Um,
Also, wait,
so
one last question, by the way. Sexually attractive does not mean you would have sex with someone, right? Because we agree that men mean you would have sex with someone, right? Because we agree that men would have sex with a bunch of people who we would not also characterize as sexually attractive, right? I just want to be clear because, like, I would have sex with like 95% of women, but like, I
I
only find like 2% sexually attractive. Go ahead, Mac.
I don't know what any of. So freshman college students are honestly just college students in general are so irritating, and the reason I say that is because they think have to do everything for them. And what I mean by that is my boyfriend and I share the same job. And he just messaged me and said that someone, it's 10 o'clock, by the way, it's almost 10:30 at night. Someone just asked him for like a cart, like a moving cart to bring up their groceries. Hot take, if it's past, and I think the fact that like we allow people to just use them whenever they want is kind of problematic. That's just my second hot take. And then also we have to like wait for them to bring them back, and it's 10 p.m. at night. People have other things to be doing. Like you could just make multiple trips instead of being lazy. Hot take, that's a hot take. But where I've had to do like stupid shit for people. Like someone called me last week and they were like, "There's expired food in the fridge." Okay, throw it out. If it's moldy, throw it out. Why would I? Why do I need to get it out? If it's from July of last year, throw it out. But like, you know what I mean? Like, guys, like one time someone called me asking me if I could help them move out during finals week, and it was like 9 p.m. No, I cannot.
I can't have any empathy. I agree with you wholeheartedly, but I told you that when I had a similar job as you, that I literally had to talk to a student about how to take a shit in a toilet. So
Oh my
like,
god.
no, because
No,
he
like it's like
squatted
crazy shit like
on
that.
your stories just don't mean shit to me. Like I just feel like I've heard the worst of
Well,
the
I'm not
worst.
saying them just to you. I'm just like venting about it because like genuinely like I think people think that we are like since people like since we're on call people think that like we're just a endless resource that you can like tell like we're not your pets, you know what I mean? Or violations of like campus policy or to let you in if you lock yourself out. That's what I'm here for, plain and simple, and that's about it. That like
Okay.
anything beyond that is outside of the scope of my job. And if you ask me to help you move out or to go get you a like clean out the fridge for you, like girl, I'm not your personal assistant. Figure it out. Like one time, the amount of times I've had people call me over my laundry's been stolen, and I go down to the laundry room and I open the like I
95% question because now I'm a little confused.
we can, but I just wanted to vent because like freshmen are stupid.
Oh, lace was accidental. Um, Obviously I need to revise the 95% because you got to add like certain qualifiers, like age brackets, for example. So what would actually be? What is a high number? Like in terms of like the percentage of women that men would have sex with, not necessarily even enjoy, but that if a woman walks,
Um, I would say it's probably like 90% of men would be willing to have sex with someone who came up to them.
now 49% of the population, so you've already narrowed it down.
No, I think it would still be 90%.
You just said the woman would have to be slightly above average.
Yeah, it's still
So,
90% of men would be willing to have sex with her.
okay, but you're saying 90% of men would have sex with less than 49%. Average is 50%, right?
I
So
mean, in the terms of
slightly above
looks.
average is 51%.
I mean, in the terms of looks. I don't think that there is like a set amount of people who are like
Grasp,
what
but like they'd have to be pretty ugly for me to say no.
would you say no to? I'm assuming you would like have age cutoffs. You like
Yeah,
if
we're assuming age appropriate.
well, but would you like if like a 25-year
Near that is because it's a hypothetical. Because for me, in reality, I've never dated anyone who's more than 3 years different than my age. So I've started to
old?
realize that the abstract hypotheticals don't really make much go. I thought that if porn is 18 plus, what do I care? Now I'm like, as I've thought about the issues more, I'm like, I'm really uncomfortable with the fact that porn includes 18-year-olds, and I don't like that now. And so I would have sex with a 25-year-old. The question is like, would I really? Like, I haven't. So like, it's not like I don't know. I kind of feel like I'd more so prefer to like exist in the realm of what my reality. So we're assuming age appropriate, so it doesn't matter now. Now it's what percentage of that age appropriate. And I think for me, like it's definitely higher than 50%. I'm trying to really think like how ugly would you have to be? People in the comments were shocked when I said 2%. What percentage of people are people attracted to? 1 out of 50? I don't think that's crazy. That and when I'm saying attracted, what I'm saying is that like I look at them, it's definitely got to be less than 2%.
Hmm.
Like I just I like I
I think you just have a lot of I don't know. To me, you strike me as like a
really successful, really accomplished, but I just felt like the density of her arm hair was it made me
oh my god.
uncomfortable. It was unusual and it was not
See, that's your
yeah,
sexism
I mean,
playing
I don't
in.
know what it was, but I know that like I dated her.
Breaking up with someone because they're boring is valid, though. That is valid.
Oh, see, that's not sexist because if they had underarm hair, I wouldn't give two shits. No, no,
No,
no,
you
no.
would
I've dated
care.
women with underarm hair. I don't give a shit about underarm hair.
Like,
Are some things like I definitely prefer
you
yeah,
don't like
exactly.
leg
I
hair,
definitely
though.
prefer a lack of leg hair without question. But a woman who's got like hairy underarms, I don't give a shit about at all. And I feel to me how rare you can see a muff at this point. Like it is wild to me.
So,
They're like
I
endangered fucking creatures at this point.
I kind of have a
Okay,
slightly
go
hot
for it.
take. Slightly. Maybe like warm take.
Man, most women don't have this.
No, I just don't no, no, no. Hold on. Let me just explain really quickly. I think men and women should both strive to have bare underarms. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. So I don't understand how if you have so much hair going on under your arms, how you are properly like putting on deodorant without it
Because you're not a
either
man.
like how
Like
are you like
men who have hair, we know our deodorant goes on, Mac.
no, but like it doesn't though. It gets like stuck in the hair and it like clumps up in the hair. No, it's not even about like the men that I've been with. This isn't even like coming from like any sort of like that. I just don't like underarm hair. It like grosses me out on everyone. Specifically, it's mostly men. It really is mostly men because they let it grow out super, super long and they don't do anything about it.
Can everybody those tree chin hairs and then those nipple hairs on a woman that I have to
Exactly.
surreptitiously pluck one by one over the course of several nights? I don't like errant hair. And like hair is
Uh,
gorgeous. My
woman.
fucking feet hair is the bomb.
Ew. Ew. Put that away. Put that away.
No, my feet and my
Um,
hands are my best
So
traits.
I did see, and like I learned that this is like, I guess, a common pregnancy. Uncomfortable because it was like actually thick hair, and I was like, "What?" Like I didn't know that this is just birth control for me. This is birth control for me. Like you're telling me that I'm now gonna grow hair around my belly button whenever I'm pregnant. No, that is just birth control for me. I
Okay,
don't
so
know.
it's a good thing Mac does not determine female beauty standards because I will say I'm a huge fan of.
Let me say
Please let her
this.
speak. Yeah, go ahead.
Irish just loves to silence me. Um, guys, please don't personalize what I'm saying in the comments. Like, if Irish can talk about how he doesn't like
Privileges all the time, so that they can have a bit of a thought-provoking moment and realize that what we would be talking about taking away from them are things that women socially are conditioned to not be able to enjoy. So if a man is not allowed to go to a bar because they grape women up, they have. So that's the point of the prompt.
Oh, okay, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Um,
So you may be. I don't think this was necessarily
I
for
thought I
you.
thought you're like you're trying to be like misandrous. Like I was like, wait,
No,
what? No.
no, I'm not actually full on. I can't hate my own people. I I pity my people. I don't hate my people. But
I don't think all men are like until like they're like really, really like downright super conservative, then yes, but I feel like a normal person should understand, don't you think?
I mean, I do. Despite my misandrous co-host here, I do think there's a lot of guys who don't want to be bad people,
misandrous
Interesting, bro. That's
and I think they just need to be sort of guided in the right direction.
co-host. That's insane.
I think they just need to be guided in the right direction. I think that
yeah,
most, but I
yeah,
think that in society they are largely conditioned to do so and to believe it's normal,
yeah.
believe it's
No, I agree
acceptable,
with you there.
and I think it's sick. It's really disappointing.
No, I do believe that. Honestly, I feel like men are told to suppress their emotions, right? So they suppress even like really evil desires that they have. And I'm talking about like pedophilia and stuff like that. So if they have those desires, they usually bottle it down and they don't really have anywhere to go to. But now that mental
The idea of saying go to therapy is also just like a little premature. Like I don't think we're at a state where everyone has access to therapists, and certainly not good ones. So
oh
like
yeah,
I
too.
agree therapy is more accessible and more normalized. I think
Again, I feel like they should a normal person should understand and other than the fact that like, like I said, reiterating
I
my
I think it's not that a normal person should. I think it's more so that a person who is raised well should know themselves. And so like when you say
mm,
normal, it makes it sound like most people
oh,
or the
okay.
average person.
I
And I
feel
don't know if that's the case.
no, I feel like you're right there, but again, let's take our fathers or brothers, for example. Like, you can rely on them and be like, yeah, they would never do something like that, right? So, again, I feel like you said, they should be raised right. But I feel like a lot of people,
I say I kind of shy away from the word average or normal
okay,
because your normal is someone else's fantasy life. Because I guarantee with 87 people in here, I guarantee there's one woman in here who is sexually assaulted.
no, you're right about that.
Um,
I I agree with you on that. I'm not like defending, but I think educating them should be the move to go, and even if it's like against their will, because this is
do you sometimes find yourself having conflict with women,
In regards to?
talking about men and men being a problem? Do you find yourself overly defensive of men sometimes?
No, no, not really.
Very good men and
Yeah,
positive
yeah,
men,
yeah.
which I think you may want to consider the fact that that has led to a skewed perspective from
True,
your own
true. No,
self
I
of
agree.
how
I
good.
agree. I agree. You're
Yeah,
right.
and that's why I asked if you ever conflict with other women because I actually think you probably have a higher opinion of men than men probably deserve because you've likely gotten lucky. And I was just taking a guess that sometimes you may have women when they hear you talk about men, it will be dysphoric for them because the way you describe men, I don't think is how a lot of other women would describe men. And that's not to invalidate you, but it's more
Yeah,
so
no, I
to recognize
know.
that I think you may have gotten
Yeah,
lucky.
you're right. No, you're right. I may have like a bias. You're correct because whenever I think of men, my role model has always like been my dad, and I love him so
Who's
much.
a very good man, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And that tends to happen with I think women who've been raised by men who are generally good. They have a very
Mm.
rosy perspective, which is great in a way, but it also leads you to accidentally
Well, because my dad also
invalidating other
says that
women.
men are like I agree with you there. Because my dad always says like you should be safe whenever you go out, and he keeps on telling me that you to share my location, even though like I'm 18. He's like, hey, no, you need to tell me where you are and everything, and I agree with that. Because I think even he knows, like he knows how men are, like most men are, right? Like you
Yeah.
said, yeah. So I agree with you there. Because like most men are really like I don't know what's wrong with them, but they are very usually they're abusive in some sort of way. Especially like one of my friends, even people my own age, I'm so serious. Like she got in a relationship and even if they're like not physically abusive, they're gonna like mentally like torment you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
agree.
So
And
that's why like I agree. I agree with you there.
yeah, I think that, I imagine your father is hopeful that you will sort of like find a relationship that mirrors how he is with your mother, meaning that you find a
Yeah.
healthy relationship. But I think it's
Yeah.
very telling that he is terrified of all the risks out there,
Yes, he is, and
that
he's
you
very
don't seem
terrified
to
for
be as
me.
aware, that you don't seem to be as aware of because you were raised by someone who is better.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. All right, listen, I'll drop you on down. I appreciate you joining, though.
Thank you. Take care.
Thanks so much.
Bye, guys.
Thanks. Bye. What was that you were saying about me not being right, Mac?
No, actually, I was going to ask a question to the people in the comments.
Okay, go for it.
Um, if you, and this could also be Brussels too, I don't know.
No, God damn it! You first of all, you say Irish. You were right.
Okay, fine, Irish, you were right. I'm
All
so
right, my
sorry.
Spidey's
Hormonal birth control pill. Can someone tell me if and when, like, at what point do I switch pills? Because I'm tired of like light bleeding constantly. No one can hear you, Brussels.
At
Holy
what
fuck.
time do you stop? Oh my God, Brussels, stop unmuting. Brussels, I don't know what is going on.
Like I don't know. That was horrible.
Yeah, please don't do that.
But yeah, so I asked Irish, at what point do you switch pills whenever you have light bleeding for like wait, but 3 months of constant bleeding every day?
Of light bleeding, correct? Yeah, it can
Yes.
take a couple of months for it to normalize, for sure. Unfortunately. Yeah,
Three.
why? What's up, Atlantic?
Yeah, but like he's like a busy man.
Your
I don't
doctor?
know. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's a
he's
busy
busy
man. I
doing
don't
doctor
know.
stuff. Part of that doctor stuff is answering your doctor questions.
I can't just call.
Like I've heard it's 3 months is the point at which you tap out. If it is not normalized within 3 months,
I can't bleed for 3 months. I'm gonna be fucking mad.
yeah, it's 3 months. Mac,
Yeah, that's not
respectfully, you're going to be
happening.
mad
If this
regardless.
happens more than a week,
What
I'm
are we
stopping
talking
this.
about?
Specific symptom is that she's having light spotting on a continuous.
No, it's like
Oh, you
more
said
than that
light. I don't
though.
know.
It's like it's
What word did you mean to say?
well, that doesn't. No, there's a difference between spotting and light. Spotting is like
Oh,
there's a
sorry.
difference.
Into the ground. What do you mean it's splashing?
I don't know how to say the word in English.
Think of when you. Oh my God, Brussels! I
Dripping,
swear to God, you've got some fucked up thing going on. No, think of it
dripping.
more like. Have you ever had like a cut on your arm open up a little bit, and it will be, and if you put like
Little blots,
Yeah,
right?
no, this is like more than that, unfortunately, and it's not stopping, and it's really pissing me off because I was told that this wasn't gonna happen. But like I was told that
wait,
like
hang on. If you're
it would
saying
be
something's
like
happening that
very,
you were
very,
told
very
wouldn't happen,
light.
that's concerning.
Well, I mean, I wasn't to say is that I just think that like this is like not normal. I don't know.
Okay,
I
you
like
need to talk to
it's
a
like
doctor if you're experiencing something you don't think
I
is
like
normal,
don't
Max. That should be taken very seriously.
All I'm gonna say is you betrayed me, and I was not meaning to request, and you let me up, and I was just giggling as we were walking up the sidewalk,
It was horrific.
and whatever you heard was not anything.
We didn't hear any talking. It was like a helicopter.
Max, did it make you break out? Like when you started taking it, did it just break
Big
out?
time. She's been breaking out like crazy recently.
Oh no, that's your hormones going all over.
She's got like bright red spots everywhere.
Before I
Irish.
drop, I'm just
What?
gonna say keep taking it back.
I'm
You
actually
think
gonna
I haven't
kill
noticed, Mac?
you.
It takes about 4 months, 4 to 5 months, but then you can have a one period every 462 days. So do with that what you.
That's a long time, four to
Why
five
is it
months.
do that though initially?
Because your body's adjusting.
I
Your
also
body's adjusting
Irish.
to the new
Shut your
hormones.
mouth.
Initially.
Because your body's adjusting.
I
Your
also
body's adjusting
Irish.
to the new
Shut your
hormones.
mouth. I want to say. Actually mute. Actually mute. Actually mute.
Okay, hang on.
Mute.
Hold on.
Mute. No, acne hasn't been worse than before. So I don't know why you just said that. But that's actually
Okay.
insane, and you actually are really mean for that. So that's what I have to say.
I apologize.
You call
Well,
the
you're
fucking
also like
weirdo.
lying whenever you say that because I know you don't believe it.
I also just like to dig sometimes. So
Yeah, you dig your holes a little too far sometimes.
Okay.
I apologize.
Irish, can you please check your DMs?
Right now? All right, hold on.
But no, Atlantic, what I was going to say to you before Irish, but if you don't have acne prior to getting on the pill, it can cause you to start to get acne. But for me, it hasn't, like, I haven't been taking it long enough to actually, like, know if it's helping or hurting.
How long ago did you
yet.
start?
Like a month and a half ago. You put in a dry tampon, you're going to get toxic shock syndrome and die.
Oh my god.
So I'm really mad. It's
Fuck,
the
man.
truth.
I would just get off that stupid pill.
I'm thinking about it.
Antics come into the live a couple of times and said, check DMs, check DMs. I just want to point out it was the most unconsequential DM. Like literally the least emergency driven. Atlantic is one of the most
Did that? What the fuck?
You do that all the time. Like Mac can be demanding, but there's no question you're the most demanding person I know. In terms of like, now, look at this now. This is really important. Pay attention to me now. You are without question my most demanding, my friend. You didn't know that about yourself? Which I messaged her saying, for what purpose? Is this to attract more men? Is this to attract more high quality or high value men? Is this
Not
for...
everything's about men.
I know, you dick. If you'd let me continue, meant the largest range of clothing options. Is it which hair color is best for your skin tone? I basically said, what is the question? Like, what is this the best for? Which hair color is best for your skin tone? I basically said, what is the question? Like, what is this the best for what?
Which
And I
one looks
didn't
the
get the answer
best
yet.
on me?
Yeah, but that's subjective to my
So
personal
it's just like in
tastes,
general.
right? So like it.
Atlantic, my only opinion would be don't well, my only opinion would be
I
it's
would
like
never go
overdone.
blonde ever. It
I think
doesn't suit me.
I think a lot of people can look good with it, but I do think it's overdone and I do think a lot of people would just look better brunettes. I don't know. I'm pro brunettes. I am very much pro the brunette girlies, and I don't think brunettes get enough
Oh
Oh,
my
love because I
god,
think brunettes are
that's not
super
even property in the frame.
I know.
You
Hang on. Let me see if I
you
can
would
edit.
look good with dark hair, Atlantic, but I think
Okay. So
more
in terms of
cocoa and chestnut
feedback,
tone would be good.
Atlantic, I need to know the level of directness, bluntness, and honesty you want from me.
That one is black. It's the one that I have pretty much now.
Okay. All right. So this is option number one. By the way, did you
I
really have four
feel like
options?
more
Because is the fourth
chestnut.
option not the same as your first?
No, they're different.
All right. I'm gonna jump to the fourth because I see the least change between this and then let me show you the other.
I like a blue black.
Oh my God,
A
can you
black
focus on the
with blue
options before us?
undertones would look
That's
so
option one. I'm
good.
about to show you option number two. Oh my God,
Blue
shut the
black.
fuck up. There's only four options. One of them is not blue black. This is, oh, now I see it, I see it's a little lighter.
I see it. That's more of
Yeah,
a
I actually
red
do see
tone.
That's
that
like a
now.
dark, that's like a medium to dark reddish brown.
Oh,
Don't
that's
you have like
interesting now that I see that
warm
contrast.
undertones, Atlantic? I feel like a warm
Exactly. That's what I was going to bring up because your jet black hair,
blue.
I think, creates a very harsh
I feel like
contrast
you're
against your skin
stealing
tone.
credit for a black woman's thoughts.
No, that's why I asked her skin tone.
Yeah, I like a
This
high
is number
contrast.
three.
That's like a medium brown.
And then
I like number two better.
this is number four.
I'm
I like
also
number
the
two. I
anti
think number two is my
co-opting red, auburn, and copper or ginger undertones. Those are not your colors. If you're not a natural gingery hair colored person, get your own lane. Sorry.
I've got a weakness, so like I would pick this one, but I think that's very specific to me. I think what's the most complimentary to you was a softer red tone number two.
Wait, put it back.
Sure. Like I that's why I said like what, with what lens, because if it's me personally, I
Why
would
is it
date this
okay
hair
for
quicker than I
people
would
not
date this
redheads to
hair.
dye hair
But this
red?
hair is arguably better for your
I
tone
love
and
that
better for your
one.
complexion.
I'm gonna drop. I feel very unfiltered at this moment, and I feel like I'm gonna get you canceled.
No, I can't be canceled if you say something.
Why is it okay for people who aren't gingers to be ginger, but if you wanted to be a black ginger, suddenly that's like a big cancelable thing?
If you want to be a black ginger, what's a black ginger?
Can we
Not
focus on my freaking pictures? I'm trying to figure something out. Jesus.
Oh
But it adds a lot of, I think, necessary warmth. Because I do think your jet black hair, to me, can be a little bit cold to some men. I think a lot of men are intimidated by jet black
it's not
hair.
about the men.
It's not about the
I
men.
think
Yeah.
she's looking for a lot of different perspectives to judge the hair. Unlike you two, Atlantic's got no problem attracting people and enjoying the attention.
I
Okay,
like the
well,
attention too. I just
You
don't cater
female
to it.
incels. God damn.
Female incels, we're actually getting laid, unlike you.
Oh
Yeah,
my.
well, you're not a fan of it, is the point. Atlantic's not
You don't
terrified
know
of it, for
that.
God's sake.
So this one, right?
Not a fan of
This is the
you.
best of the four. If you want to show more, then we will happily dedicate more of this live to your different options. Of the four you've shown, I would say this is the best one for you, yes.
I'm not interested in any other man's pee besides my man's pee. If
Now
that
the
makes me an incel, I'm sorry.
Oh my God,
can we
people
focus on my goddamn
people were
hair?
saying there were four. I'm going to go back over them again. The number one is the one she already largely has, which is really, I mean, that's just jet black, right? Is that how you describe that, or is there some other way to
It's
describe it?
more of a. It's not jet black. It's like a off black.
Okay, a matte black. Okay, so this is her current. Soak it in. All right. I personally, now look, it depends on the type of man you want to attract, right? I think some men can be intimidated by this look, which is not a bad thing to scare off timid men, but that's just my experience with some guys when I've heard them talking about. All right, option number 2 is the one we just had up a moment ago. Fuck me, why is this so fucking slow? All right, so again, that's still option number 1. Oh, for fuck's sake. Do I have to fucking leave my own live and come? Okay, great. So again, this is option number 1, which is primarily what it is she currently has. Option number 2, pop up, you fucking nub. All right, option number 2 is this one, which is this is option number 2. We're about to enter into option number 3. That's option number 3, which I don't know how to fuck you describe it, but it's the lightest option.
I like that one too, honestly.
I think it could wash out her features, personally. I don't think that one does, but I think a color close to that could wash it out. This is option number 3. I'm about to move on to option number 4 now.
I like 4 and 2 personally.
4 to me is a lot more fun, but like again, I'm biased towards
4 is
red.
fun, but you're also going to be living with that for so long and it's never going to come out. Just that's.
It's gonna be a nightmare to upkeep.
I do really like 2 though, but 4 is fun. So if you want to keep up with it, I think
I'm
4
not
is a
doing
fun
4
option.
though. I'm doing 2.
Then 2. Well, no, show us more options because like Mac was like, show me blue.
No,
So if you
I
want to
love.
show other options, you can do other options.
I love a. No, it's not blue. It's black blue, blue black.
Yeah, someone's saying how realistic is 4. Yeah, because like even seeing that in work.
I'm actually low-key anti like all over bleach. I like highlights. It happens so many times, like people will go full like blonde and then they'll be like, why isn't my hair growing? It's because you're frying it off. Unfortunately. And no matter how much K18 you put in there, it's not. No, I know teeny. Highlights are bleaching, but it's not like all over. So the integrity of all of your hair is still relatively preserved.
Miss
So
Daisy's hair is hot pink?
is holy shit, I'm just remembering I could go back to purple. Life is good again. I might go back to purple. I don't know how purple it would be
Wait,
though, because
have
I
I
no longer
seen
have.
purple?
Yes, I no longer have
Oh,
highlights.
the
I'll put
thing
a.
that you considered purple. Yeah, no, that was acceptable. I'm okay with that. I give permission.
Yeah, it wasn't like fucking hot purple. If I put purple over my hair currently, it would be purple in the sun and maybe purple under certain lighting, but it would still relatively be dark brown.
Yeah, everyone in the server right now, if you want, go for it.
Those are the options, Irish. The other ones are like freaking blonde and shit, and that doesn't look good on me.
Can we see what blonde looks like?
Oh my god.
I
I
need a
don't.
good laugh.
Atlantic, are you kind of like on the paler end?
I think Atlantic could
Or
look hot as a blonde. I think there's different types of blondes. I don't have the vernacular to know which type of
does
blonde.
Atlantic, do you tan well? I think that would be kind of like the key factor of if you should go blonde. Compliment them, but if you're a pale girly like me, you're just gonna look white as fuck. So, but if you want to go for the vampire look, that's also
Vampire look?
a look. Yeah,
I don't think that's a technical term of art.
it is. It's usually gonna be like, well, usually the vampire look's just gonna be anyone who's either super pale or super pale and dark hair, like black hair.
Mac, to give you my skin tone, I am light to fair, warm. I am light to fair, warm undertones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm not like
This is definitely the wrong blonde.
Wait, I
Like,
wanna.
it
You
looks
should put it up.
fine, but like it doesn't complement. I just feel like there's other.
There might be other blondes that
I'd
you
like
can
to see
do.
like more like whitey,
Oh,
white blonde. Like,
no, no, white blonde would be too much. You would want like more of a honey.
okay, I got that one. 1 second.
okay, but don't send it to me. My phone's gonna crash. Can you just? I'll make you big screen and you can show it.
I think a honey would look good. Ooh, maybe like a root shadow and like honey.
Everyone's saying
Oh,
she's
that would look
olive
good.
undertones. Like, I'm not sure she's
I'm not
got
seeing the
blood.
olive.
Like, I don't see
My
any undertones. I this is.
yeah. I see kind of like yellow undertones in this, but that might just be because of the hair.
I mean, Wolfie got it right. I'm warm to like olive undertone, but I'm like on the light fair side.
No shit. All right, tell me when you want to be big screened.
1 second.
Oh,
Oh, I
apparently
think
yellow
if
undertones
you
are olive. Who knew?
Oh, what? I've always thought of olive as
Green.
like those who can tan really well. I don't know. Like girls from Greece or women, sorry, women from Greece. I think that like their skin tone, their complexion, that's like what I think of as
I
olive.
came back to say that I believe in ginger supremacy and all gingers are supreme.
Is that a better blonde?
No.
I think that's definitely getting better, but I think it would still need to be a little bit more honey-esque.
I think if you go blonde, it has to be stark. I think it has to be, I don't know, bold. I don't think faded or limptic blonde will work at all.
I do think you need a warm undertone blonde. I imagine like whatever, like if you imagine J Lo as a blonde, you need a similar color, like caramel.
I don't like I mean, this is just personal preference. Caramel is hard to upkeep because it turns orange real quick.
Get purple shampoo.
Purple shampoo is a scam. Every time I use that on my blonde hair when I had it, it just it didn't do
You had
anything.
blonde hair?
Yeah. Do
Send
you
me
want to
that
see
photo
pictures?
right now.
Okay.
What the fuck? Was
Haven't
this like an
successfully
awkward, like,
tracked that.
sophomore phase or something?
Well, I've never dyed my hair, so if anyone is having an existential crisis,
While they're looking at photos, why are
this
you against people choosing to be ginger?
same reason why I'm against people choosing to do blackface. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Chad. I'm kidding.
Okay, so why?
It is kind of the same reason. I just feel like you're appropriating something that isn't yours because it's fashionable to you, but
So I am kind of curious because
Yeah, I feel the same
in terms of
way about
gingers,
freckles,
in terms of
but
gingers, Brussels, like I do, being raised in Ireland, like I know a lot of redheaded people, right? And a lot of them get teased because they do look like they are a genetic experiment that went wrong. There is some validity to the fact that they do look, I don't know, like a zombie who's been slowly roasted in a micro. Like it's not a good look for a lot of people, right?
a
Um,
what?
but your ginger is the good ginger. And so
I am very much like a ginger, like an
when you say
auburn.
you've been teased by it, who teases you? Like and why? Because
White
like you,
people, white people who later go on to dye their hair red.
what do they tease you? Like what do they say?
That I'm a ginger and I have no soul.
Oh, you get the generic jokes. It's nothing like visceral. Like
I
most of my
mean,
redheaded friends get teased about the fact that they look like they like I'm just repeating the teasing they get, the bullying they get. Like most of them get that you look like you deserve to be in Special Olympics. That's the type of teasing they get.
oh, what?
maybe when I was a child, perhaps.
No, because your type of ginger is it's the best type of ginger. Like it's the most appealing type of ginger. Like in terms of like positionality of gender slander, you're like at the top of the pile.
Let's see. Do I have a picture of me with? Here's when I tried to move a fridge and it gave me a penis-shaped bruise.
I can't make it the color. Sorry.
Oh, you're still trying?
What the fuck? I'm trying to show you my bruise.
You actually getting that done? Did we really just dictate
Okay,
that?
I'm sending it to you, Irish.
No! Send it to Brussels. I can't risk my phone being blown up.
Okay, fine. I'll just put it up. Brussels, I actually kind of feel a similar way about like how people draw on their freckles. Like that's kind of crazy to me. Hot take. Like, what are you doing? Like, especially girl, your freckles look horrible. Wipe them off. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Natural.
Can you go
freckles
get a
have
photo of
your-
Kaylee Mack as well?
I sure can. Oh, they're horrible. You're gonna fucking die.
Yeah, but again, in terms of positionality, like,
What do you mean by that?
have you seen Irish people in their freckles?
I have freckles.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
I'm so
but not
confused.
Irish freckles. Like some people who are Irish, like it looks like they've got eczema. What is it called? They look like they've got like it can look like they've
Eczema?
got eczema. Yeah, it can look like they've got scales all over their face. It looks like freckles and redhead syndrome more than anyone else.
There's my ginger color.
Irish trying to like diminish our trauma in
That's a
Brussels.
It's
fucking
literally
disturbing
ginger.
photo. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm on the train. I was just trying to capture my hair color.
That is the only thing you captured.
Favorites. You did jog my memory, but it was not related to that. I wanted to show you all my penis-shaped bruise.
Oh, that's what you're gonna share. I have not seen a penis like that before, so I don't know if I can validate that.
It's a show. Did you guys see it?
Oh, it's the ball sack on the bottom?
Yeah.
Oh, I see it now. That's a tiny peenie. Yeah, okay, I see it.
I got my pictures. I got my pictures.
Sammy, she didn't hear.
This up. So, do you want to see the blonde hair first or the Kayla Mac freckles?
Wait,
first?
hang on. Ease me into it. Show me the Kayla Mac, and we could talk about the blonde hair.
Okay, so
What type of friend do I have to be when you show the blonde hair? Do I have to
mean,
be
I
the
don't have
person who's
blonde.
supportive,
I prefer to have dark hair now, so I don't really care if you think that it looks
so I
bad.
can let it?
Wipe that shit off. As a like, actually, you look
What
goofy.
the?
That deserves
She
to be made
penciled
fun
in
of.
Who
blackheads.
is that?
Kayla Mac.
I don't
That
know.
deserves to be made fun of.
Blackheads.
Like,
Those
I'm not
are
gonna lie. That deserves to be
Did you
bullied.
guys
Do y'all
ever play with bingo dabbers when you were a
do y'all
kid?
And
Never
these
even
are
heard
like
of it.
not. These are not real freckles, so
Wait,
that's why I'm being so.
I also want to call this out, and yeah, you don't do it for men. I don't give a shit. I'm going to opine on it. What's with the blonde hair and like the non-blonde eyebrows? It's fucking weird.
She got purple eyebrows.
But yeah, so this is okay. So that's picture number one. Hold on, there's another picture I got.
do y'all know this person?
No, we're just bullying her online. Okay, let me see your blonde. Oh god, this is going to be so traumatic for me.
No, it's not. It's not that bad. It's kind of a bad angle from
It's
the picture,
blonde,
but
blonde,
it's not
blonde.
that bad.
Oh, it's not real
No, it's
blonde.
That looks
honey
good.
That is
on you.
pretty blonde.
That's
Mac,
honey
you're
blonde.
not blonde. You're like a
That's not
light
even
brown.
blonde.
That is definitely blonde.
You're
That's honey
fucking
brown.
That's
Honey
like a light
brownish.
brown.
It's like honey blonde. That's
No,
it.
like the strands that are really light. Like that's what I'm calling blonde. And most of my hair was that. The roots, I don't like to get like I like to leave my roots like I like it to blend so that way whenever it grows
I'm
out
with
it's like
Teeny.
not
It's more blonde.
annoying.
It's blonde.
Yeah, it's
That
definitely
color looks
blonde,
good
but
on
there
you.
is like blonde within.
You look good with blonde.
I did come in with a bullhorn. As much as I love y'all, I did come in with a bullhorn.
Also, this
Oh, what do
Lena,
you
this
want to
is not
share? Hang
strawberry
on.
at
She's got
all.
the. No, it's not all. What is
Sorry.
it? Magical God.
Oh, we need you to come over to Buns Live because new information came out of more than 6 posts about from a certain group of people to just today on Reddit.
I mean, about who? To go to Buns Live?
Bun is on the Echo's backup account.
Okay. Do I have to go right now?
Wait. Blackfire, are you kidding me?
Hmm?
Hold on.
The live got
No.
discontinued.
I've got discontinued.
When
Okay, so I should join Ken's live?
yeah.
Oh, Blackfire's
We
joining.
chilling
Hang on.
here. What the fuck?
No, let
Yeah.
I
it.
was just
Well, I guess it's important.
sorry. I was just watching the live when Magical left to come get you, Irish.
She got
Yeah.
discontinued as soon as I left.
Yeah.
Bro. Oh, they're not happy.